Welcome back to Healthy Living. We are speaking with Dr. T. Colin Campbell, the renowned co-author of the China Study and Professor Emeritus of Nutritional Biochemistry at Cornell University, USA. Healthcare costs are rising for governments, corporations, and individuals across the globe. In countries like the United Kingdom, where healthcare is provided free of charge, it was recently reported in the Belfast Telegraph that the cost of treating the 60,000 diabetes patients in Northern Ireland alone is over $1.5 million per day. And a growing number of such patients is forecast by Diabetes UK, a charity, to eventually collapse the National Health Service, Britain's healthcare delivery system. In the U.S., people pay for most of their healthcare costs through health insurance, which has historically been provided as an employment benefit. For companies, the costs of providing this benefit have skyrocketed in recent years, with many now deciding to no longer offer coverage to their employees. For individuals without any form of health insurance, paying for treatment of a serious health condition could cause financial ruin. Dr. Campbell points out that adopting a vegan diet significantly limits healthcare costs because the lifestyle keeps people healthy in the first place.
Plant-based diet creates health, prevents disease, and the benefits are enormous, especially in terms of the control of healthcare costs. Healthcare costs can be reduced substantially if, for example, everyone were to switch over to a whole foods plant-based diet. For companies that basically are providing the insurance for their employees, they see advantage in making their employees healthier. And we have evidence now that programs, we call them wellness programs, in these companies, that the amount of savings is substantial. For example, for every dollar spent in one of these programs to promote health in these people, they save at least $3 to $5 in healthcare costs. That is a substantial so-called return on investment, 3 to 1 to 5 to 1.
Dr. Campbell shares his ideas on how to broaden awareness on such important subjects as the vegan lifestyle and its direct connection to health, the causes of global warming, and other similar critical issues with the public.
My view, especially having worked at fairly senior levels in policy development, that, we could, for example, take this information to the public from the top and let it come down. I mean, that sounds pretty good and can be helpful, maybe, but I've decided that's not the way to do it. What we need to do, a much better way, is take the information in from the bottom. Grassroots. If we can convince people, or at least inform people, of this information effectively, so they can make decisions in their own interest, then it has a much better chance of growing and spreading. Because give a good product to the public that really works, make it affordable, make it convenient. That's a recipe for spreading it. We have to be aware of how important this information is. Then we have to articulate it to the public. Let the public decide. They will decide. I have no doubt about that.
Dr. Campbell feels that physicians can be the leaders of change by promoting the vegan diet.
We also should at the same time take advantage of the people who are best trained in health and medicine. So I'm talking about physicians. Even though physicians these days are not trained in nutrition, for example. Medical schools don't teach nutrition. But we have a lot of good people in medicine. And the reason they got into medicine was to help people. That's what they were there for. And I lecture to a lot of these groups, and they haven't been informed of this. And when I lecture to them, I find a lot of them are upset Why didn't I hear this before? So I'm saying, okay, let's put this program together. Let's invite all these people in who are so professional, so well trained. Let's inform them, and let's let them take a lead in making this happen at the public level.
Here are some final thoughts from Dr. Campbell.
I would like to speak to the viewers of the world to take notice of what Supreme Master Television is doing, because it affects, your lives as well as the lives of the planet. I mean, all the way from inside of the little cells where all this works together, all the way up through bodies and people and planet and on to the universe. I mean, it's a holistic message. So when people make decisions based on this information that Supreme Master Television is doing, when they make decisions, whichever level they sort of make the decision at, or whatever happens to interest them at that point in time, it's going to actually relate to a much larger issue. There's no question about that.
With heartfelt sincerity, we thank Dr. T. Colin Campbell for his time and generosity in sharing with us his extensive knowledge on nutrition, and for his calling on humanity to switch to the healthful and compassionate vegan diet. May many more across the globe hear his message of hope. Thank you, beloved viewers, for your company on today's episode of Healthy Living. Coming up next is Science and Spirituality, right after noteworthy news, here on Supreme Master Television. May you always be in the pink of health.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/HL.